Hello, and welcome to I Do in the Caribbean Facebook group. So happy you could join me today. I must apologize for yesterday. I had a client emergency and I couldn't do my live at 4 o'clock, but I am here. So today is all about getting married in Mexico and why you should consider getting married in Mexico. And Mexico to me is one of my top destination that I recommend to my clients if they're looking to have a wedding, because I think Mexico offers so many different options that can fit any budget. So if you're looking really to have that destination wedding with all your friends and family, Mexico is definitely a great option. So let's begin. So, as I said, getting married in Mexico in 2022, what you need to think about if you're thinking of getting married in Mexico. So the first thing I would say, if you're thinking of getting married in Mexico, is these are top reasons why I think Mexico is a great choice. First, it's easy to get to. So as far as I know, there's great flight options to Mexico. There is also a wide variety of resorts to choose from, whether you want all inclusive or not. There is just so many different resort choices that you can have that I think Mexico is a great option. There's multiple locations to choose from. So just as if there is as many resort, there's so many different experiences or you can have for your destination wedding that I think Mexico is definitely a great option. Also, the experience to experience a different culture, Mexico can give that to you because it's a different country. You get to see how the Mexicans live, learn a little about their culture and their culinary experience. There's great food options available in Mexico. It's not just Mexican food. A lot of the resorts offer international cuisine, so there's definitely great choices for you to look at when you're thinking of Mexico as your destination for your wedding. As I said before, it's easy to get to with great flight options. So for me, I live in New York, and New York and California, I think, are two great locations. If you live there, if you're looking to have a destination in Mexico, it's a great option because there's lots of direct flight options there. The flights are affordable. Pricing all depends on what time of the year you're going. All the major airline have options for nonstop flights, as I said. So JetBlue, which is one of my favorite airline, American, Delta, United, you name it. Even if you have to go on Spirits or Frontier, there are multiple flights that will take you to Mexico. So definitely getting to Mexico is very easy with the amount of nonstop flights and affordable flights that's available for you to get to Mexico. Um, Multiple locations available. The top locations, I would say, if people are looking to have a destination in Mexico, is Cancun. That's number one. Tulum, which is getting to be very, very popular now. Playa del Carmen, and one of the real hot spots now is Los Cabos. And what I give you here is the main airport for Cancun is CUN, and most resorts are within 5 to 15 miles from the airport. So in Cancun, most people can pick either the hip strip in Cancun, in which all the um, all the hotels are on a strip, and then there is entertainment, like you can walk off the resort and actually go to like Cocobongos, Senor Frogs, so you're closer to like the city. And then places like Tulum or Playa del Carmen, Los Cabos. Los Cabos is actually almost like that. Depending on where you are, you can actually walk to local restaurants, local bars, and places to hang out. So it all depends on where you are. And what I'm trying to say is with these destination Cancun, just understanding how far the resorts are will kind of help you decide if that's a location you want to pick. If you go to Tulum, it's a 50 to 70 miles away. So you're going to be on a transfer for about an hour to get to Tulum. Playa del Carmen, it's about 30 miles away. So, and Los Cabos, most of the hotels are 15 to 25 miles from the Los Cabos airport. So you wouldn't be going into Cancun for Los Cabos. You'd be going to SJD, which is the airport code for Los Cabos. So when you're planning or looking at locations within Mexico, try to see how far the resorts are from the airport to determine how far away you want your guests to have to travel once they get to the airport. So I think that's always important, just trying to figure out how far the locations are from the airport. Multiple resort brands available, and that's one of the best things I would say about Mexico, that almost every hotel brand is representative there. My favorite, by far, where most of my couples are getting married, are the AM Resort brand. So their top tier resort is Dolce, then Secrets, which is adults only, so it's a more higher end luxury. We have Breathless, which is also adult only, but I would say that is for a younger crowd. So if you like the party atmosphere, 30 and above, or 30, 25 and above, 40, in that um, age range, I think Breathless is a great adult only resort that you could have, because you have lively entertainment all day there, and it's just a nice, I say, resort to have an adult wedding. Dreams is where most of my couples are going, because Dreams is a family friendly resort, and there are so many resorts available with Dreams within Mexico, within the various location, that it's a really great choice for a lot of couples to pick Dreams. As I said, it's family friendly. There's multiple restaurants to choose from, lots of activities on the beach and around the pool to do. So it really keeps the resort really entertain the guests and keep them occupied. And there's really nice locations for you to get married on the Dreams Resort. So that could be a great option if you're looking for something that's family friendly. My other favorite brand is the Playa Resorts, and the Playa Resorts are the Hyatt Ziva and Zalara and the Panama Jack. So Hyatt Ziva and Zalara are all in Cancun, and they have Hyatt Ziva and Zara. I think they're in Playa del Carmen, and they're also in there's a Hyatt Ziva Los Cabos. So in the three areas, you can find this resort there. Other resorts that are mega resort, I would say, is like the Palace Resort, Moon Palace, Beach Palace, Sun Palace. There is something for everyone at this particular resort. I think their food is great, their entertainment is great. The only thing is the resort is mega, it's really big. So if you want a big resort, this is an option. You'll find, you'll have multiple rooms there, so you don't have to worry about you're not getting a room there. If you're having a big wedding, this would be a great option for you. Other resorts worth mentioning, or other resort brand worth mentioning, is Royalton, are very nice resort. Iberostar, excellent. Charisma. They have Bahia, they have Riu. So all depends on what you're looking for. You will definitely find something that will fit your budget in Mexico if you're really looking for a all-inclusive resort. Things to do. Well, one of the things that I think is more unique about Mexico is their cultural tours and activities that are there. They have the Escaret Park, which I think is a great park. It just has so many different things for you and activity to do. It will keep you entertained almost all day. You can do day trips to Tulum, and Tulum is famous for its Mayan ruins. I've been to Chichen Itza. So there's just so many interesting things that you can do while you're doing your, getting married. Your guests can have a variety of things to do. So just thinking about that also, gives them a little bit more to do than just attend your wedding. They get to see a little bit of the Mexican culture. Cenotes, which are underground river. I think one time I did an underground trek in which they put a helmet on my head and I was able to go underwater. I'm just a little scared of water, but that was fun. And there's so many water sports and activities to do. Other things like ATV, zip line, horseback riding, you name it, you can find any of the things that you're looking for to do in Mexico also. If you're getting married in Mexico, what are the requirements? If you're having a legal or a civil ceremony in Mexico, it's a little bit different than if you're having a symbolic ceremony. And a symbolic ceremony is if you already get married in the US and you're just doing a symbolic ceremony on the resort, and it's not a legal marriage. So if a couple is looking to do a legal ceremony, most of the resorts are requiring the couple and 4 witnesses. They must be at the hotel at least 3 full business days before the wedding. And that's a big requirement. If you don't have witnesses, most resort will provide you with the witnesses, but that might come at an additional cost. So if you're going to get married and having a legal ceremony, make sure that people who are coming to be your witnesses are there at least 3 business days before your wedding. You need a valid passport, which you should have if you're actually going to Mexico anyway, and a tourist card, in which you get when you get off the plane. You get some kind of tourist card, so they want you to have that. The civil ceremony form, which is for your marriage license, you got to fill, that you have to fill out, and the health certificate, which is the blood test. So to have a legal wedding in Mexico, it requires for you to have a blood test. So that is something to think about. So the approximate cost, I looked at one of these resort, what it costs to have the judge, the blood work, and the marriage license is around $950, and that's not included in any wedding package you have. Those are additional costs. So to have a legal wedding in Mexico, it will cost you a little bit more for the judge, the blood work, and for your marriage license, it's going to cost you around $1,000 to maybe $1,200. And also, once you get married, to have that legal marriage recognized in the United States, you have to get it apostolate, meaning that you have to translate it in legal form, so it's recognized in the US. So that's an additional cost for you to convert, because your marriage certificate is going to be in Spanish, so you have to translate that into English, and to make that legal, you have to pay that fee. So that's an additional fee for you to pay after you get married in Mexico. Travel protocols. So for Mexico, starting January, they said they have eliminated all their travel protocols. They're back as if it was back in 2019 before we had COVID. So to me, that means there is no protocol. But I know I have a friend in Mexico right now. I'm going to ask if they are requiring masks right now, because right now you don't need a COVID test to enter Mexico. You still don't need that. You had to fill out a health form, which they don't require anymore. So right now, you can just, book your ticket and go to Mexico. They're not asking for any vaccination form. They're not asking for any of those things. But I guess the only thing is you have to make sure you know what the protocols are when you get to the resort, because the resort might have a little bit more stricter protocol than what the country has. Like when I go to the resort, you wear a mask. Obviously you're going to wear a mask on a plane because that's still required. You probably have to wear a mask in the transfer to the resort. Most time when I check in at the resort, we wear a mask until we get to our room or we get to outdoor venues. So I have to see what that new protocol looks like. If it's just back to normal as if there is no COVID, that I have to check to make sure to see what that standard is. But right now, you can go to Mexico with no travel restriction, really, as it pertains to COVID. The only thing you have to remember that no matter what, coming back to the US, within 24 hours of your departure from the US, you need to have a COVID test done, a negative COVID test. You have to have that result in order for you to board the plane to return to the US. So that's something you definitely have to think about. And the only other down point I would say you need to consider when you're thinking about Mexico is, depending on when you get married, between May and October, they have seaweed. Sometimes have a really bad seaweed problem, and they've been having that for years. So, depending on when you get married, please check with your resort to see how bad the seaweed is in the area that you are. Because I know last year I have a couple who got married at Dreams Riviera in August, and a couple of weeks before, the wedding department had called and said she was concerned that we might not have the beach wedding because the seaweed was coming up so much, and the seaweed does smell when it's a lot of it. So it's definitely something to consider if you're getting married in Mexico, that they do have seaweed problems between May and October, and it might be it's more prominent during the summer months. So definitely something to think about. If you're doing a wedding in Mexico, just thinking about the seaweed. So now that I've gone through all the requirements for getting married in Mexico, what are you waiting for? If you're thinking about having a destination wedding, I would say now is the best time to start planning. Especially now we're in February now. So if you're looking to get married this year, you should have already started planning for your wedding, trying to find the right, if you're picking Mexico, trying to find the right resort and making sure that the dates you're looking for is available. So definitely, this is not the time to, be fooling around. It's time for you to do something to get started. So as I said, I'm Sandra Morris. I am a destination wedding specialist. I help couples plan their destination wedding in the Caribbean or Mexico without as little stress as possible. I cannot guarantee that, because no matter what, people will stress you out. But I help couples plan that wedding. So if you want to meet with me, you can schedule a free consultation. It's available. The link is available on the Facebook page, I Do in the Caribbean Facebook page. You can call me at the number right here, or you can email me and we can set up an appointment so we can get you started. So thank you so much for joining me, and hope to see you next week hopefully on Monday, not Tuesday. But yesterday I had a client call me and I couldn't. I had to take care of the client and forego the call. That's what a travel advisor's life is. The client comes first. So until next week, I will come to you with something around destination wedding planning. So have a great day, and I will see you next week.